Curtis Stigers, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Really nice to talk to you, Curtis. Now, I'm not very happy with you.
Uh-oh.
Last time we met, we were at a radio station in London, do you remember?
Yes.
2 hours after we did the interview, they fired me.
I had nothing to do with that.
I think you did. No, it was definitely your fault, Curtis.
Really? Have you landed on your feet?
No, I've definitely not landed on my feet.
You're still suffering? Oh, I'm sorry.
I will never recover from this blow. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to go to counseling or something.
I think so.
Oh,
I need help from somebody. How's your life in the last year?
It's better than that. Yeah, it's been all right. I've been touring a lot and still getting a chance to spend time with my family at home in Idaho. So it's been a good year, and I've got a new record I've just made and put out, and I'm here in the UK, just getting ready to start a big tour that I'm thrilled about.
It is a terrific album as well. Congratulations on it. So you haven't been fired in the last year?
I haven't been fired, although I have been fired in my life, and I know it hurts deeply. So I'm feeling for you.
To be honest with you, I was relieved. To be honest with you, I was fed up with the job anyway. To be truthful.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt when I left my first record deal. The same thing. I was heartbroken for about 20 seconds. So.
Do you know what? They made me sit in front of all these Dlist celebrities day after day after day, and there were so few like you who could actually link a sentence. It was Jade Goody one day, it was Vanessa Feltz the next. Made me want to kill myself.
Well, I'm speechless.
Well, as you normally are when you're in my presence. You're also going on tour in April, aren't you? Looking forward to that.
Indeed, yeah. This is going to be a great tour. It's about 25, 26 dates in a month's time. It's nonstop, and a lot of great theaters all over the country. You can find out where I'm playing on my website, curtisstigers.com. I'm forced to say that by my manager. He just holds a gun to my head and tells me you better say your website.
It's absolutely fine, Curtis. We'll just charge you £15,000 for advertising. No problem at all. Where do I send the bill? You're going to all over the country, basically. You're going to Skegness, places like that. You're going to Birmingham, to the Alexandra. You're going to Newark and Leicester. And how do you go down live? I mean, is it still for the ladies as sexy as it was 10 years ago?
Well, I haven't actually checked with them directly about the sexiness factor on it, but it seems that people like the shows. I think people are pleasantly surprised. They hear that I'm making, in big quotes here, I'm using my hands to make quotes, jazz records these days, and they're a little bit nervous. But when they come along, they realize that I still sing songs that they know, that they love, that they can sing on their way home. I still do I Wonder Why, You're All That Matters, the songs that people sort of come out and see me for. I just happen to take them down a bit of a different road. My shows are a lot more actually, more acoustic and a lot more intimate than they used to be. And I think, we've all grown a bit older. Actually, I haven't aged at all since
you do look fabulous, to be honest with you. If I was on the other bus, I would consider it.
Well, I thank you, I think.
Well, there's a lot of it around. This is show business.
Well, yes, it is, and it's the 21st century, and to each his or her own. But
thank God I'm not getting any. That's all I can say. So we've got the tour on the way. We've got the new album, and you're on just the two of us. I mean, how has your life changed since we first got to know you with all those big hits that you just mentioned? Is it still as sexy and showbiz as it was in those days?
My life's a little bit simpler than it was. I mean, I spent a couple of years there, sort of hobnobbing with my heroes, really. I mean, I got to open for Elton John and Eric Clapton at Wembley Stadium, and I got to be on all the TV shows, and I met a lot of really interesting people, and it was an exciting sort of rock and roll dream life. And then things slowed down considerably. My career has changed. I still tour. I still do an occasional TV show and things like that. But I found that I wasn't really all that comfortable in that world. I liked the people, but sort of chasing all those hit records it just wasn't really what I was about. I like to play music. That's what I'm about first and foremost is making good music. So I simplified things a bit. Now just down to the very simple thing that I go out and sign CDs at the end of every show. I meet my fans these days, and I feel good about that. I've learned to really appreciate the people that pay my bills and will put indirectly anyway, put my daughter through university someday. I really have learned to appreciate what I've got by in this business and making a living singing. Whereas back then it was a little bit scary for me. It was sort of hard to imagine why anyone would want to sort of chase me around the countryside, coming to my concerts and buying my records. I thought maybe they were nuts or something. Why would they like me? But now I greatly appreciate it. I think age and a bit of distance from all of it, it changes your perspective on things.
I also think the business has changed, and it is not fun now being a chart artist because you have got 2 seconds to get a hit, and if it's not a hit within that 2 seconds, they get rid of you. There's no honour or integrity now, is there? Whereas in the old days, if they believed in an act, they'd back an act. There isn't any of that now, is there? It
is brutal, and it was brutal then, but at least you had maybe 10 seconds to get on the charts. Now the 2 second rule is pretty painful. That's one of the big reasons that I was glad to get out of the sort of the hit making world is that your album, when you put out a record in the pop world, your album is judged by whether it gets on the charts in the first 2 weeks, and not on whether it's good or not, musically speaking. So you were, if it didn't get on the charts, it was a bad album, it was a bad CD, and now I'm judged by my music and whether I can get up on a stage and entertain people, and that's who I am. That's what I'm about.
Is it still a thrill when you hear your songs on the radio?
Oh yeah, I did an entire day of interviews yesterday, and I heard a couple of the songs from the new album on the radio, and it was thrilling to hear them for the first time. I mean, I've heard these songs a zillion times. When you mix a record, you hear them over and over again. So I know them front to back, but they just sound differently coming over the airwaves. It's still a huge thrill for me.
Well, listen, Curtis, thank you so much for sparing the time to talk to us today. Your new album is in the shops now. It's called Real Emotional. It's really great. What's your favourite track?
Well, I've got a lot. It's hard to choose, a baby from this. They're all my kids. But the second track on the record is a song called "I Only Want to Be With You." It's a song I wrote with my brother Jake Stigers, who's a singer-songwriter and also is related to me. And I'm very proud of that one. It's a little different than what I've been doing in the last couple of years.
Well, congratulations on the album. Good luck with the tour. I'll come and see you probably in Birmingham, I think, at the Alexander. You're a great act. You know how to sing and you know how to do the business, and the ladies still love you. Can I have your mobile number, by the way? Because if I get fired 2 hours after this interview, I'd like to give you a call and just threaten you with something and tell you I'm never going to speak to you again. Is that okay?
That would be too much of a coincidence if you got fired right after this one, wouldn't it?
You'd laugh out loud, wouldn't you? You couldn't care less.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Curtis, thank you so much for talking to us today, and good luck with everything. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, man. Take care.